All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see everyone out popping in the side chat there. Appreciate everyone out there. With that being said, Alan, please get us started off right, brother.
Absolutely.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hell yeah. Awesome, brother. How you doing, man?
I am not too shabby. It was a little bit easier of a week at work. Sort of. No, not really. It wasn't. It was just another week at work. Um, Tried to do some things this weekend, and Mother Nature just wasn't having it. Wasn't having it. What I can do is tell you currently the YouTube participants list is saying Ashley A, Bamadad out there, Garage Guy 879, Honey Creek Road. We got Red Rider reloading. We got reloading from the hot pot, the tactical FUD. Good to see people jumping in out there.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Jamie, what's happening, brother?
Oh man, thanks for having me first off. And we've been trying to get some Christmas decorations up. I got the Christmas tree up. I don't have it decorated yet, and we still got to wrap presents and get them under the tree. Had a fire going today. That's always toasty. And when we get through welcoming everybody, I have a question. So don't let me forget that, and I will. So.
All right. Daniel, what you got, man?
Daniel, there's no Daniel here. Hey, thanks for having me on. It's been a busy week, just taking care of things. Gun wise, I primed a 109 millimeter the other day, and I did 20 minutes of dry fire on setting par times on a timer. Because it's that time of year when there's really not too much shooting, but just a lot of practicing in the house. And when you do this practicing, make sure your firearm is safe and unloaded.
Yep,
Hi guys.
absolutely, man. Yeah. This is a great time for dry fire practice. Definitely a lot colder and a lot more ailments out there causing problems for people. So, Garage Guy, what's going on, brother?
I'm just laid back, taking it easy. I'm off from work till after the first of the year, and trying to figure out this new to me computer that I got. My other one kind of went south on me last week, and last night I hadn't figured out the resolution on the screen. It was actually hurting my eyes to look at it very long, but I got that part figured out today. Hopefully I can get this video editing program figured out, get some videos out soon.
Awesome, man. Good to have you. Appreciate you.
Thank
And then
you.
we got the salad eater himself. Rob, what's going on, man?
Nah, not a whole lot. Just working like crazy, basically. That's why I didn't make it last time. So, been going in real early. So, passing out early. And
I thought you didn't make it last time because you're working extra hours to pay for that bill that you had to pay out there. The $75 bill.
yeah, well, yeah, you got to pay for that too. I mean, I did get a little sneaky and got the lady a gift ahead of time, so I already gave it to her. I had to get the jump on it because the kid actually had the idea, but I had thought of it before, and it was a damn good idea, and so I had to get the jump before she did. So she's a little pissed, but the lady's happy. So got her hooked up with a new cell phone. So basically working, shopping, trying to stay warm. It's been real cold here. Lots of layers. You know, if you're gonna be outside and it's 16 degrees and the wind's blowing like crazy. So kind of a shitty time of year on that aspect. But
Well, this has to probably be one of the worst times of the year for you because you're a tightwad, and this is where people spend money, and you don't like spending money. So this has to be one of the worst times of the year for you.
oh yeah, that's a biggie. But everybody knows I'm a tightwad, so they're grown. They're not expecting much. So I do a little something, but I don't get crazy. I don't think there's any reason you should be putting yourself in debt for materialistic stuff just for the hell of it. Be different if somebody needed money to eat or something like that. But I mean, just a new game or whatever, I don't think you should be going into debt for that type of stuff.
Yep,
But
I
that's
agree.
me, so I don't know.
Well, I agree with you, man. There's no reason for that, and we've said this many times over the years that unfortunately the whole point of Christmas has gone the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't want to crap on it or anything, or crap on anybody's Christmas. It's not what I'm trying to do. It's different for all of us. So, we celebrate, but I'm just thrifty about it. So that's about it. So glad to be here.
Nothing wrong with that, man. And for me, it's not Christmas, and I've said this many, many times, and people know it's not Christmas until Hans Gruber is falling off Nakatomi Plaza. Then it's Christmas. If y'all don't hear yippee ki motherfucker, it's not Christmas.
Well, and I've come to find that if you dress and look like a bum when you walk into the Salvation Army, they'll give you free stuff.
Is this from experience?
Well, yeah. The weather starts changing. You need some more clothes. You want to put on some more layers. You right before you walk in there, you take your jacket off and park around the side, around back or something. Walk in there just going, I just need me a jacket because it's gonna get cold tonight out on them streets. And bada bing, you might end up with a nice parka for free.
Your Salvation Army must be different. Around here, you go in there and they got leather coats for sale for like $199. Nothing's free.
Well, the Salvation Army actually doesn't.
Something like that.
It's a profit making machine. It is a for profit store. But yeah, can't say I haven't walked into places like that, and different times, different needs.
Yeah. It's been quite a while, but I can recall seeing old couch that was looked like plaid or whatever. Looked I don't know. Did not look special. Looked very old, and they wanted like $400 or $500 for the couch. I'm just like, what the, like, just in shock, because I basically shook my head the whole time walking around in that place. Like, you might as well just go to the store and buy a new one. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, at least in my area, and that leather coat thing's like legit. A friend of mine was looking for one and had the idea of maybe checking it out, might find something cheap. Went over there and they wanted $200 for a leather coat. At the same time, there was a store in the mall that would run sales where you get a leather coat for $200. So it was just kind of odd. Like, I don't know. I guess you think you're getting a deal, but I don't think you really are. The better on the secondhand market, at least in this area, is Goodwill. I know they're out to make a killing too, but you know, you could find work pants over there for like $8, which is something.
So, Alan, without going into too much detail about how you dressed up like a bum, how did you dress up like a bum, and what free shit did you get?
Well, I didn't need to change much of how I dress anyway. I just, you know, put on my work clothes, mostly just didn't put on my work shirt, and walked in there, and you know, you stand by one of the people working there, and they're putting stuff up on the rack, and be like, man, $4, man, I only got $2 and I gotta eat tonight. Make little comments like that. You just drop little comments like that. By the time you go to take something up to the registers, they're like, oh, we've had that around here forever. Go ahead and take that.
There you go, folks. There's the trick to it. Brought to you by AllenBePro.
How much do you charge to take people shopping, Alan?
Depends upon what we're shopping for.
Okay.
Depends upon what we're
Is it
shopping
like
for. If you're
the
shopping for
same
cars,
thing, or-
you know, forget about it. Don't call me.
Okay.
Forget about it. You don't call me. If you're looking for ladies of the night, on the other hand, that's going to be a premium.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Just trying to get an idea of what services are offered. Is it a percentage thing, or is it a, individual job or task thing, or yeah,
Only
I
when
see
it
you
comes
have
to
a base
construction
model.
equipment. When it comes to construction equipment, yes, it is a percentage thing.
Okay. And I assume there's a
Whatever
minimum, like,
percent you get off at the
transportation.
register, that's how much I take.
All right, lunch, transportation, is that all included, or?
Yeah, you can transport me and feed me lunch. That's cool.
Hmm. So it's probably best if you're doing like school shopping or getting a whole new wardrobe, more than one item to make it worth the customer's value, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
assuming.
A lot
Okay.
of times what you do is you find that kind of portly single mom, and she just doesn't want to be embarrassed, like she doesn't have a husband, and so I just go and act like her husband, and she'll give me lunch and maybe a $5 gift card to the shoe emporium.
Right. Well, and at the same time, you're getting her deals on that sweater she was looking at, and maybe a new pair of jeans, and telling her, no, they do not make you look fat, right?
Right, and that's part of the advantage. No, they don't make you look fat. They're just really big.
Right.
It's
It's
okay.
basically guaranteed because you still need a ride home.
Y'all got to remember, they don't make you look fat. You just fat. Don't lie about it, folks. Just tell it how it is.
No, honey. You fill those out beautifully.
Mhm. Just more to love.
Just don't squat. Please, just don't squat down, because
Do these jeans make my butt look fat? No, honey, your butt makes your butt look fat.
Whatever you do, don't take my advice. I'm too
Well,
honest.
some people say it's better to have a little extra than not enough.
Probably advantages both ways. definitely don't have to worry about getting blown away in the wind.
So we're
Well,
going to
we know
answer
this
Bam
is one
Dad's
of your
question.
main concerns in life itself, New York. But
Hey, man, have you been to
don't you just
Wyoming?
like turn sideways and break the wind in half? Or
Yeah, I'm not bad, but yeah, in certain places it's windy. There's places where half the screen doors in town are ripped off. Fences blown over. Trucks get tipped over on the highway like weekly. So yeah, you don't eat too much, and you get caught in one of them winds and go to open your car door, and you might just end up in Kansas. I don't know.
So I think the answer to Bama Dad's question is affirmative. Once once they stop restricting suppressors, silencers, whatever you want to call them, people are going to realize they can make their own better than what they can buy, cheaper, obviously, than what they can buy. And the price will plummet from necessity. That's my thinking.
Well, that they'll start
I
manufacturing more, so the price will go down because they're getting quantity also. Once people don't have to buy that tax stamp.
mean, I don't know how you know that, Thorzax, but you ain't lying. Yeah, if suppressors just become another accessory, the fact of the matter is that it's going to completely drop the market. Even though you get some pretty high end equipment and pretty high end material builds. When they're building these things out of titanium and so forth, that's a chunk of money. And some of the machining, everything else. Yeah, you can make your own. Yeah, you can buy a $30 oil container and turn it into one. But even the high ends, I think, are not going to be worth a quarter of what they're asking for them right now.
Well, I agree with what Bama Dad says here. They shouldn't cost more than the handguard, or do you mean handgun?
Handguard.
Handguard. Yeah. Yeah, suppressors shouldn't cost near what they do.
Yeah, I was just reading this question. Question for the panel. My high school history teacher thinks that Trump saluting the United States flag is stolen valor because he never served. All presidents have done it since President Reagan.
Tell your high school, whatever, history teacher to go back and restudy history, because the president of the United States is the commander in chief of all the United States military.
And there is nothing wrong with saluting the flag. And when it comes to the Veterans Day and things like that, and hell, saying the pledge every time. We either put our hand over our heart or we salute the flag, one of the two. There's nothing wrong with either.
Yeah, back to that suppressor thing. I think, as he was stating, the other guy here, and whoever in the chat, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think the prices are ridiculous. Obviously, materials, machining, but when you look at, I don't know, a mag light flashlight, there's machining materials. It might not be the same, but you're not spending hundreds of dollars on that. You're really not. So granted, you might not sell the same quantities, but it shouldn't be anywhere near, I think, what it is. And due to that cost, I would just build. Honestly, God, it may not be the best it could be, but it would probably be a lot better than not having one at all. And obviously, if you could legally build without paperwork, no problems, you could experiment, different materials, and I think probably come up with something you're happy with on an affordable level versus, having to pay big money. So, I mean, if they're dropped and companies start making them and you can buy one for $65, I think maybe people would just do that because it's maybe easier for some than to build. But, I might be interested at $65 or 125 or something semi-reasonable in my opinion. But the what they're going for now, I just think it's ridiculous. Feel the same about machine guns. If you want to say, a M16. I don't think they should cost the price they're going for, but I think that's a lot with the paperwork and all this other stuff. I think there's people that bought in at that level, inherited, acquired, and so they don't want the value to drop, so they probably support all this crap, where there's other people that would, would just like to see that dropped, and on a shelf there might be a $20 difference. But I don't foresee that the way things are going. Maybe something will change though.
I want to kick in here to Red Raider Reloading. Dude, if you are anything like I was back in high school, you will go back and get pictures of every Democrat president saluting the Marines at Marine One and any other visible and times when they saluted the flag, anything like that, and put them all up in his classroom during lunchtime. So when he walks in, he's going to have all these Democrats saluting the Marines, the flag, and everything else. And right on the blackboard, if they still have them, hey, he won. Get over it, dumbass. But make sure you keep a copy of all your graded homework, or else he will lose assignments and try to flunk you. And that's happened to me. So there's that.
I wouldn't use that message.
I would.
The point's cool, but you can make the point without leaving an opening for repercussions.
Oh no, these liberal Democrats. It happened to me twice, but I broke it off in the guy's butt the second time, where he, so far going out and losing the assignments and try to flunk you out of class. They do that, and it is so ingrained in them. It's not just in high school; they also do it in college. Because I warned my son, and I warned a lot of other kids that are hardcore Christians and conservatives, that this is one of the ploys they do to weed you out of the pipeline to get a college degree. And it's turn around and they bust them. These kids once they catch them, they need to go and get a lawyer and file a lawsuit against that teacher and the school system. Because they are just poisoning these kids, and they want to produce more crazy liberals.
But yeah, it's good to have it's good to take action, but at the same time, you don't want them having ammunition to use against the kid.
What's going to be what can be used? He's already made a public statement that this guy, you come out and show him. All he is doing is going through brainwashing kids.
A problem. So I'm not saying it should be. I'm just saying that's how they'll use it. So I mean, shit. you bite a sandwich into a picture or a silhouette of a gun and you're a criminal, and they're calling in the counselors and the police to your house and shit. So,
And that's
you
the
know, any
liberal stuff that we need to fight
right, right.
against.
That's what we're fighting against. So, fight against it, but maybe without the cursing or whatever into it, so it's not something that's seen as a hostile act.
But the teacher already threw out that, I'm just saying that one word, and the teacher already used it in class in front of the students. Dumbass. He said he's a dumbass for doing it. He already said it. You just turn his words right back on him.
The thing of it is we don't have to be nice. They're not being nice about it. They're turning around and calling us this, that, the other. They're calling out Trump for saluting the flag, which is absolutely fucking retarded, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with saluting the flag. So there's nothing wrong with us going to town and letting them have it. They want to act a certain way. Why can't we act a certain way?
You can. I mean, it's all fine and good, but recommending something to somebody that could cause them more problems, probably might not be the best advice. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead and put it out there, but do it in a manner where it's not necessarily going to create repercussions to you.
There's already repercussions out there. They are being the left is proactive to attack us. All I'm saying is use their exact words, and now you have photographic evidence and also witnesses, and you use their words against them. It's like the left. You want to know what the left is doing? Just take a look at what they are accusing the right of, and turn around 4 to 6 months later, they're getting busted, kicked out of Congress, or charges brought because that is what they are doing. But they're accusing the other side of it. We have to be proactive and not be wimps about it. You got to, sometimes you just got to put on the big boy pants and call them out, take them to task on it, and use their own words against them. Yep. I'm sure Vanessa Kitty's probably seen some of this happen.
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of conservative teachers that it's a constant fight for their job. Yeah. Yep. This hasn't happened just overnight. It's been going on. And I have a liberal neighbor. We had, when this whole COVID thing started, he was spitting mad about people that don't wear masks and out and get the shots and how selfish. It's like, okay, boom. He's caught up in the hype right now. But we've had a discussion here in the last couple of months where we ended up sitting out there in his yard for 40 minutes. And it turns out hey, we can agree on 80% of the stuff, have a discussion, turn around, end up agreeing on 90 to 95%, and the other 10 or 5%, we can agree to disagree, but the whole point of it, we can have an intelligent conversation about it. And I think he's turning.
Well, and that's one of the big things is getting out there constantly and talking to people and trying to get them to understand. And the more that we can get out there and try to explain to them and show them, present the evidence. One of the big things we face today is fact checking this and fact checking that. And we all know the fact checkers are bought and paid for. So get out there and actually do your research and find the evidence and actually provide true factual evidence to people. And when you put that in front of them, they sit there and still deny it. That's on them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All you can do is do your part and try to actually show them and guide them. And if they don't want to go the right way, that's on them at the end of the day.
And it's like I always said, as far as, whole mask, that's an individual's choice, but you don't have the right to tell somebody else that they have to. If I'm a business owner, it's my right as a person to tell everybody that if they come into my business, they got to wear a mask. Hey, that's my shop. So they have the right to choose not to come into my business. It's just individual choice, and they're going to lose a lot of business because, it's like I don't go into places that got that little gun with a no gun free zone. I won't go into them. I'll shop. I'll spend my money where it's gun freeze. I mean, boom, where you can have a gun. Don't have to wear a mask. All that. I remember Scotsman driving a couple hours to go buy some primers once when they were so hard, but there was a sign on the thing where you had to wear a mask to go in. Scotsman didn't buy a brick of primers that day. He didn't go in the store.
Damn fucking right. Fuck that shit. It is what it is, man. Cost me a lot in gas, but screw it, whatever.
Yeah. So I went in the store, I bought the damn primers, and then Scotsman gave me the money. But he stuck by his guns. Because I couldn't see you driving all the way down here and, and not going back with a brick of primers.
Oh, it's just like at work with all the when all the bullshit happened. My boss constantly came to me every day. Is like, dude, I need you to put this on. Like, dude, it's not gonna happen. Every single day. And then finally one day he just walks up and he's just like, I'm done. Finally. You finally understand that I'm not gonna do this damn shit.
Yeah. And Bama Dad's comment right there is about the whole not paying attention. I'm not going to say where all I have been while I'm carrying guns, but I would rather be judged by 12
Well, I've said this for many, many years. Places I've worked say you can't carry this, that, the other. You don't get to tell me what I can and cannot do when it comes to my safety. You have no right to tell me what I can and cannot do. Period. End of discussion. There is no, just because you got a sign on the door says I can't do this, that doesn't mean shit to me. You don't get to decide my safety. All comes down to what you're willing to do. But I'm the same way as Daniel. I'd rather be judged by the frickin' 12 than sit there and be a frickin' little Nancy and deal with whatever comes my way because I was told by management that I can't do this or can't do that. Yeah, no, screw that.
Yeah, I was told I wasn't allowed to carry when I worked for a certain auto parts delivery, but I put it this way. I wasn't the only one carrying a firearm in that store that was an employee. Yeah. So all these other guys are being quiet now. We've gotten to the big rah, 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 rah. And this all started with Red Ryder and his history teacher. That guy should know. I mean, what kind of a idiot is that guy? He's a history teacher. He should look up, I mean, the proper etiquette and everything before he goes and puts this argument out there.
Well, in my defense, you've been going on, so I haven't jumped in on it. So I mean, we can
I'm sorry, we haven't been talking about
argue
salads.
about
Oh,
if you
but wait a
want.
minute. This is the guy that spent
Yeah.
$75 on cheeseburgers and didn't have a single salad that day.
Yep. But yeah, I don't see
Was there lettuce on the burgers? At
accomplish
least.
the goal without creating problems. I would tell you to do that. Didn't say give up on it or anything. Just if you could do it without creating more problems for yourself.
I've been waiting over a
would
week
you
to
do it?
bust you on that whole $75 on cheeseburgers and there wasn't no salad. So that's all. Speak, Rob. Speak. Come on, Rob. Speak. I love you, man.
I'm good. I just did, man. I'm good.
You're just gonna take it.
I'm just glad.
So what are was anybody a Boy Scout? What do the Boy Scouts teach? That if you're not in uniform, that you're not supposed to salute?
The Boy Scouts are in uniform. They salute.
Yeah, but if you're a Boy Scout and you're not in uniform, are you not supposed to salute?
Hand over the heart. I wasn't a Boy Scout.
I think where this teacher might be confused because he thinks that his comment was basically because, and I've seen this thing on Reddit, people saying that Trump shouldn't be saluting simply because he's not in uniform. And what I say to that is, bitch, you think he wears a fucking suit every day for his own fucking good? That is his uniform. He's commander. He wears a suit.
Not when he's playing golf.
Well, he's not, because when he's playing golf, he turns around and tells you to watch this drive. I mean,
Yeah.
So
the
if he
thing
has
of it
and we've got more military in the side chat that if you were not in uniform and you're military, you still put your hand over your heart.
if you're wearing a hat, you put the hat.
Sorry,
you take the hat off,
he's
and you put the hat over the heart.
That's right. You do.
Correct.
We had to do that at Fort Jackson.
the thing of it is he's the commander in chief. There is nothing wrong with him saluting the flag, period. Nothing.
Yeah. Hey, both parties do it. So why is it even an issue? The whole issue is that guy, his butt is chafed. He's got it because Trump won and the Democrats didn't stay in power.
No, you don't know that though.
Okay, I've been a 20-year Navy veteran, so I can say I'm a betting man. I will bet and give odds that that's the issue. Why else would he get so angry and call the guy a dumbass in front of his class?
He didn't call him a dumbass.
Well, because I mean, a lot of the
class.
teaching moguls nowadays, that's what that. Yeah, a lot of the education system is filled with extreme liberals and so forth.
Boy, it's good to see Phil Rivers out there, man. He's on a roll tonight.
Yes, he is.
Sick him, Phil.
It is definitely good to see him, man.
Raise it, JB. What's up?
From what I gathered from the side chat is that this was a Facebook conversation because obviously we've been out of high school a long, long, long time. There's our attacking daughters. Hey, buddy, I'm gonna try to get up to see you over the holidays, probably between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Jamie, the high schoolers go to a different campus nowadays. It's not just the same building that doubles as the church on Sundays in your township.
So the original
There's not one
comment
teacher that teaches all the grades anymore.
the original comment was this one, and it didn't say anything about in class, as Jamie stating. Didn't say anything about him saying in class. But again, he's the president. There's nothing wrong with him saluting the flag.
But Reagan did play a military member in a couple movies. Oh boy!
I agree with Bald. He's commander in chief. How can you say it's stolen valor?
Yeah.
There's no stolen valor. He literally is the one in charge.
Yeah, there's that comment. The Red Raider said he's 55. It was on. It wasn't in high school. It was on Facebook. So Phil says that's indoctrination.
That's all it is, man. It's constantly pushing the narrative. Like Daniel was saying earlier, man. That's what they do. They push a narrative, and unfortunately, we see a lot more in schools and colleges and all that. That's where they drive it and they push it. And why? Because they spend so much time there, and if they can guide them a certain pathway, then when they leave, they're more likely to follow that path and not be on the right side of, hey, this is what our actual rights are, and instead of just do what you're told to do or do what you think you're supposed to do.
And I look at it this way: the only way that it can be fought is for these young people to learn critical thinking, come up with the facts, and present not just the written facts, but like a visual, the photos and stuff. And if enough of these students keep throwing this right back at the teacher to make them look like a DA, just being polite, I'm not going to say dumbass. They'll eventually start thinking twice and hopefully eventually stop this. But the students themselves got to start rebelling by using their own minds and critical thinking, and just show that these teachers are wrong.
Well, I would throw it out to this teacher. I would ask this teacher, are you saying the Pledge of Allegiance every day? Are you having your students standing there with a hand over their heart? Probably fucking not. Why? Because you're a fucking asshole.
That's not critical thinking. That's just outright attacking.
Hey, I didn't say I was critical thinking. I'm just telling how it is.
Yeah, but the proper way to fight it is to teach the young people critical thinking.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
this guy's calling out the president, yet I guarantee you he's not standing there in front of his class and saying the Pledge of Allegiance every damn day. Guarantee you.
I can remember when they took the Pledge of Allegiance out and said, "Oh, we're instructed that we no longer are allowed to say the Pledge of Allegiance every day." And yeah, I was just like, "Oh, okay," because what they claimed was because it had the word God in it, and they weren't allowed to bring God into schools. And I don't believe that that's why they took the Pledge of Allegiance out of schools.
Okay, pull up Thor's Axe's last comment about, when colors went on and they broke out in a war dance. Anybody that did stick up for them would be an idiot, because when you signed the contract, raised your right hand, and, for upholding the Constitution, all the lawful orders and everything like that, you were swearing loyalty to the Constitution of the United States. And them breaking out into a war dance, yes, the first time I'm going to counsel them, and the second time I'm going to have them on a report sheet to go up and see the man. And I did, and I could say this with full, I don't know, you guys can think of the word, because one, I did 20 years in the military, and two, my grandmother is full-blooded Cherokee. And you raise your hand, you're boom.
And Razor says it right there, man. Not in uniform, place over the hand, right hand over the heart, and customs and courtesies, say either hand, and then president's uniform is whatever he's wearing. And again, so like I said, at the beginning of the chat, it's exactly whatever he's wearing. Doesn't matter. He has the right to salute or put his hand over his heart, do whatever he wants to do. I remember when I first moved here many years ago, they were still saying the pledge in schools. It was few and far between, but they were still doing it. And I did have the pleasure of witnessing it prior to when they stopped doing it. But to me, it was crazy when they stopped. To turn around and say that just because it has God in there, you can't say it is retarded. Absolutely freaking retarded.
Wasn't there a state capitol here in the South somewhere? Might have been Alabama. They had 10 Commandments posted or engraved on a wall or something. And a lot of people complained about that, wanting to have that taken down here a couple of years ago.
Mississippi, I think.
It was everywhere that the 10 Commandments, because we had it in the courthouse over in Mansfield. That was a whole case on that.
Yep, Phil's 100%, man. They all take an oath, and none of them freaking honor it. None of them. There's literally a handful that actually seem to do what they say they're going to do.
Yeah. And Razor came into the argument of this whole discussion a little late. Razor, this was a history teacher, the kid's history teacher. Oh, yeah. Okay, so somebody else put something up there as a new topic. I got stuck with this last weekend.
I'll say this. I think the school system, and I've said this before, so y'all can boo me if you want to. I think where the school system messed up is, number one, they took prayer out of school. Because when I was a kid, every morning we said the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance in that order.
And once a week, that Mennonite lady came in and did a Bible lesson.
We don't know what that means in Georgia.
Oh, what, Mennonite?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You had the church lady come in down there.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Okay, so they took that out of schools. I think in some of our schools they still do that. The pledge, not the prayer. But when they take that out of school, you take prayer out of school and you take capital punishment out of school. That's bad enough. But the worst thing of all is you let the kids know that you took capital punishment out of the schools. So, I can say whatever I want to, and I'm not going to get my butt whooped. So, yeah, hell's bells. So, there you go.
Yep, you're not wrong, man. And I'm sure growing up. But when I grew up in school, man, you misbehaved, you got the ruler across your hands or across your ass, one of the freaking two, if not worse. All depending on what the hell you did.
Now, man, the guy that in my junior high, the guy in charge of discipline had a boat paddle with holes drilled in it.
Yeah. I had one of those busted across my butt once in junior high.
Yeah.
I'd take this a step further and say, even, precursor to the schools per se, it's values in the home. Because if there was actual values in the home, it would transfer out through the rest of society. So us allowing things to be the way they are and swapped around and stuff is basically going against American values. So if the home structure was proper, we wouldn't accept this from our schools. They wouldn't be in the position they are, and so on and so on. Kids would have a better handle on life and be able to accept hearing no, stuff like that. This can transfer across the board to, parenting. It is parenting basically, but, it's parents not doing their job basically. Society, TV, the schools, everybody tells you it's okay to be a dumbass. There is no consequences. We give all the money and resources to the people that screw up to get them on a better track versus supporting the people that do right. So, like, things have become twisted on the home level and transferred throughout everything else. That's what I would state.
100%, brother. It's not the school's responsibility to educate your kids. It's yours. Yeah. The school is there to facilitate it. It's your job to make sure they get educated. Mm-hmm. It's not the church's job to tell your kids about Jesus. It's yours. And you need to make sure that they're in church. And you're reinforcing both the church and the school at home.
We passed the buck as society. Parents have just, too busy working, let the school raise the kids. And now this is what we've got, basically. So where it's to the point where discipline, it used to be, I'm going to call your parents. It doesn't matter if you were in the principal's office or the police station. That would put the fear of God in you. Nowadays, nobody gives a shit. Call my parents, whatever. It doesn't matter. Parents are just as much of a problem as a damn kid, even though the kid was clearly in the wrong. So, that's a big issue.
A judge once here said the parents need to teach their kids discipline, or the court system will with the prison guard.
It's a huge issue, and I've seen it many times over the years. So teaching kids martial arts and stuff, you run into parents that will sit there up in the sidelines watching the class, and the kid will start to do something or not do something, and you intervene and start to tell them either, you got to do it this way or do this or whatever, or provide a punishment of sorts, and the parent starts to say something. I'm sorry, you're not a part of this class. You're paying us to teach your child discipline and understanding. This also means that you sit over there and keep your fucking mouth shut.
You guys let the parents there at the class? That is the most ignorant thing there is when it comes to fighting.
No, so so let me clarify. So Daniel, I did not personally allow them there. My teacher allowed parents, if they wanted to, there were seats there they could sit there and watch the class.
I mean, we had full out.
It didn't go well. Didn't go well a lot of times.
We had full out like knockdown drag outs out there on the mats and stuff. But once you step off the mat, it's over. If one of them said something or whined, that's when the coach stepped in, and you did not want to deal with that until you could beat the coach. And I'm not kidding.
No. I just had this discussion with someone this past week of we were I forget exactly the conversation, and we were talking about we ended up talking about cups. I was like, yeah, we used to do a cup test. And we're like, what's a cup test? I'm like, well, here's the thing. You show up to class and you put yourself on the mat. You either did it right or you didn't do it right. And if you didn't do it right, you know you didn't do it right real fast. Because when you got a front kick to the groin and you forgot to put your cup in, oh yeah, you'll know about it real quick, buddy.
Oh, you guys wore cups, you wimps. We learned how to deal with pain. After a while, there was no feeling left in them puppies. It was a pain getting there, though. Oh, we had to wear cups in football and base if you were the catcher, in baseball, and what else? But we just had to wear the jock strap. But that's enough. That's enough of that from me.
It was just a fun way of torturing people, that's all.
What would be the best handgun you can get for $400 these days?
Too high.
Ruger has a new RXM model pistol. I saw it. Looks kind of interesting. $399, I believe.
Yeah, it's right around the 400 mark. It's a Ruger Glock. It's
Magpul.
Well, I actually consider it better than Glock because it actually has a removable chassis, and a proper grip angle. But yeah, that looks kind of interesting simply because a lot of the customizations that you can do with a Glock, because you have to in order to make it a worth a shit gun, it can be adapted to this particular pistol. What was that thing called? The N what?
RXM. Magpul was in on the design.
Does it come with a warranty?
Yeah,
better
that's
than
what it was. Magpul. I couldn't remember for a minute who basically built the lower chassis on that.
Does it have a warranty?
Yeah, plus it's probably does. Ruger, in my opinion, has got the best customer service out there, and it's also optic ready.
Yeah, I'd say if Rigger's in on it, you're guaranteed they're going to have a decent warranty on it.
Is there any gun manufacturers out there now that are not putting out guns that are optic ready?
There's still a few. Yeah, there's still a few. Right, Razor's got it right there too. CZ P10Cs out there for under $400. Yep. All right, we're right around halfway. Alan, you want to go through the side chat, brother?
Oh, I don't see why not. Other than I wasn't prepared for you to say that. I will just go ahead and, according to the participants list, Kyle, Razor JB, Vanessa Kitty, Bama Dad. We had Phil M. Rivers out there, Tim S. Cold Hearted Bastard. Let's see, MCK. Everybody but the people that we don't love. That damn YouTube auditor can go eat a bowl of dicks. Big P was out there. Yep. Good people's good people's. Good to see everybody out there. Mr. Insight Freedom graced us at least momentarily. Ozzy Osbourne. Good to see everybody out tonight.
Absolutely, man. Good to see Phil out there. Hope Phil's doing well, man. Been a while since we've seen you, brother. All right, Garage Guy, give us a topic, man.
Ooh. Okay, Christmas coming up. What firearm accessory would you like to get for a gift this year for Christmas?
All right, pick someone you want to start with.
Well, let's go over here with Daniel.
That's a loaded question. Because if I say something, there's something going to show up in a box by FedEx. And I keep telling people, don't send me nothing. But that last thing I got from Ozzy Osbourne, excellent, most excellent. I would think a magnifier for a red dot. Get that 3-power magnifier behind a red dot. I'm thinking that's going to be my next purchase.
Okay, Rob, how about you, buddy?
Well, I was gonna say that what is it? That Hollow Sun site with the infrared, I believe it has some type of night vision setup or whatnot. That don't recall it. It's
What that?
everybody was talking about it a while ago when it came out. I can't recall what it is now, but I wouldn't mind that. But I know that's on the pricey side. So if anybody wants to mail anything to my door, I wouldn't mind a magnifier as well. So I think that's a good one. So if you're gonna mail him one,
Hey,
don't
Rob,
forget about your New York.
this one.
Mhm.
The field of view is too small. And it's too fuzzy.
Yeah.
That's the thermal.
Okay.
You can get
Okay.
less expensive one by $500 less expensive. That is more crisp and it has a wider field of view.
Hmm. All right. What's the other one that you think is technically better?
I would have to go back. I just recently subbed to a guy because he put out there basically what I found out after I spent the money, and and there was actually some out there for $1,000 less that was thermals that was more clear. Okay, for an introductory thermal. I mean, I considered myself lucky that I got this one because the embargo was put on against China on thermal optics, and I guess this one here was still sitting at the distributor. And my guy went out, he found it through, through the distributor and up at Holosun. This one was still in the country and didn't go out to any channels. So I paid good money for it when I could have got one. And I know you're all about saving money.
Yeah. Yeah. If you ever come up with those more affordable options, definitely let me know.
Well, I'll look up the guy's YouTube channel here. Go ahead.
She looks better. You know, they have a better field of view and clearer. So, but yeah, I think that'd be something nice to have, and as well as a magnifier on a more affordable level.
All about saving money, but you spent $75 on burgers.
Look, sometimes you just, I don't know. I tried to go to another place first, but there was a 20-minute wait.
I swear you were kidnapped, dude.
No, it's just the way it worked out. So, yeah, one time I took a freaking crew there for lunch. Now I knew that was going to be splurging a bit, but I had no idea the price of the place. That was crazy, but let's just say they freaking loved me. Put it that way. So, like, literally chased my truck down Main Street. Like, you need any help? Let me know. Like, they loved me, but I'll never do that again.
Yeah, when I saw the receipt for $75, I'm like, there's no way in hell that's Rob. Like, dude, that's all right. Who stole the guy? Who took him?
Well, yeah, once in a while, you spend a little bit. I mean, see, the way you initially said it was a little off because technically there was three dinners there for like 75 plus when you had like a 20% tip, it was like $85. So
20%? Damn.
well, why? What do you leave?
I'm a cheap bastard.
Well,
You're supposed to be cheap, man, and you're telling me 20%.
yeah, like servers and waitresses got bills too, man. If the service is good, you should keep that in mind. In a place like that, the service was good, so I don't know. It's just part of the deal is the way I look at it when it comes to stuff like that. Now, if you pay for delivery, don't expect a tip from me because I already paid for it to be delivered. So you got to take that up with your boss.
Yeah, man, I'm a cheap bastard. I'm not throwing it out there. I mean, unless you provide some superior, absolutely phenomenal kind of freaking service. Yeah, you're.
Well, it's the same thing at like a bar. Not that I go to bars often, but if you give a good tip, you get good service and you get stronger drinks and you get a pleasant bartender. The next time you come in, they're overlooking these yahoos over there and they're hooking you up. Same thing at a restaurant. You become the people to get the best service or whatever. So I'd much rather have that than be like, oh, the cheap bastard's back. Let me rub his burger on the floor for him. Yeah, it's just what it is. And again, I don't like the way the system's set up. But most servers, they don't even make minimum wage and stuff. They make like $3 an hour or some shit, and then tips. Half the times, tips are split between the whole house. Like, so the asshole that does nothing gets a cut of your money too. Like, it's a shitty deal, you know. So, and again, these people got to eat. So there is situations, high end bars, high end restaurants where people make, you know, $400 a night, $600 a night, but that's not the average place. The average waitress, waiter, and then a waiter, they're really getting screwed. Because let's face it, girls get better tips than guys, especially when you look at like nightclubs, things like this, like way better tips. So, you know, it's a shitty industry to begin with. I'd never work it personally. I'd never work it. If I was like a blonde with big tits and a skinny waist, I'd probably work it. I'm not even lying. But
And I'd probably want to date you.
but as a man, there ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell.
Rob, didn't you meet your wife at Hooters?
No. But I did come.
Dad put a lead out there for you. I also put in there in the chat to that one channel there that can give you recommendations for thermals. So there, Bama Dad gave you one, and I put their Spec Ops. It's in the chat.
All right, I'll go back and review it. See it now, but I'll go back and check it out from the chat.
Honey Creek Road also put that up in the side chat.
Don't believe Honey Creek
Jamie.
Road. That guy's a troll. That guy's a jerk.
Well, Jamie, what firearm accessory would you like to receive as a gift for Christmas this year?
I'll tell you what I put on my list, but it's not exactly a firearms accessory, but I asked for a Lee lead hardness tester. Does that count?
Sure. You got to have ammo to put in your firearms, so there you go, firearm accessory.
Yeah. And about the previous subject, I was taught that if you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to go out to eat because that's part of the price of doing business. And Phil Rivers over there says that I tip 20 to 25%. And Rob nailed it right on the head there, man. What I like to do is when they bring the check, and I'll put a 10-15% tip on the card when I'm paying. And then I like to take an extra 10 to 15% cash and slip it to my waitress.
Smooth.
And that way they don't have to share that. And that gets you better service. That particular waitress will look for you coming in the door. When she sees you coming in the door, she'll come get you and take you to her table.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some places they'll try to add a tip onto the bill.
Well, if you go with a big group, that's standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
Is that why every time I walk in that place, those girls are trying to take me into the back room? Because I've given them $1 tips before.
What is that? So you can meet their boyfriend Luigi?
I think it's because they know your name is Jan.
Yeah, anybody that's kind of like got half a brain, they'll usually slide their waitress. You know, it's like go up, hey, thank you, and then slip that 10 or $15 into their hand. And that way they also don't have to pay taxes on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I always try and tip in cash if I can. And a lot of times that's like one of the only reasons why I have cash in my wallet.
Exactly.
Is simply because if I'm going to go out to eat, I'm going to tip in cash because, yeah, they don't. Um, they do need to claim it on their taxes if they supposedly gained income from it. We're not condoning people doing it differently, but hopefully the president-elect will fix that bullshit too. The thing that I really hate is people that are like, okay, I walk into a buffet and I go to pay for the buffet and it wants a tip at the front of the buffet.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well,
nobody's doing anything other than coming around and collect my dirty dishes. You're filling your buffet. That's your regular job. It's like,
paid
what the hell?
a wage for that. You know what I mean? Because I looked into this recently too, because people at Golden Corral were trying to say that they survive on tips and this and that, but looked it up and they get paid like a regular wage. So you're not like, it's not custom to tip them to pick up the place. They're not bringing you anything. They're not doing anything. They're clearing it after you leave. You know what I mean? It's not like they're grabbing you condiments or napkins or anything. They don't do anything. You have no interaction with them. So
Right.
you
And
shouldn't have to pay them anything.
one that really got me last week was I went to go run my card at a Subway and it's asking me for a tip. I'm like, because you my sandwich, that's just kind of your job, right? I mean, you didn't make
But
my sandwich extra better than the next guy's.
yeah, but there's a lot of people out there that think you should tip to get a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like,
you're already paying $3.50 for a freaking coffee, like, and you want me to tip you for doing your job and handing it to me? I mean, what? I don't, you know.
There's even worse than that. There's even worse than that. So me and Alan, we went to this place a few years back. We asked Bearded CB for a recommendation of a place to go to, and CB said, "Hey, go to this place. You'll like it. It's real nice downtown, whatever." And we get there, trying to find parking. Parking was hard to find. Finally, find a spot. We walk in the door, and we're just kind of standing there waiting to be seated, and people are just kind of looking at us. So like, oh, I guess we just got to seat ourselves or something, I guess. And finally, one of the girls walks up and kind of like, yeah, you just pick wherever you want to sit. And we go sit down, and then we're kind of waiting for someone to come around, see if we want drinks or whatever, and no one comes around. And we got, what was it, like a little tablet or something on the table, Alan?
No, it was it basically was like a wooden coaster with a Q reader on it. So you had to use your phone to scan this code in order to get the menu. It's just like, well, do I need to download your fucking app too in order to order wine? I mean, I'm not going to have a waitress that's going to even ask me what I want. It's everything was being done online. It was like,
that was right. So then we asked one of the waitresses as they were walking by, you guys like actually bring the food over, or what do you do? And they're like, oh no, you got to go pick it up yourself. And I looked at him and I'm like, dude, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Let's go to an actual restaurant.
I like that personal interaction. You get the people get to know you, you get to know them. I finally started hitting up this donut shop that opened up in Hayesville by me. And I left the gal a tip the first time I was there. Okay, she's handing me some donuts. All right. High school kid working in there, tipped it. The last time I went in there, she goes, hey, how many are you getting? I said, I want to get 6 donuts. She breaks out the big old full dozen 18 donut box. And she just goes, we're closing in an hour and a half. I need to get rid of some donuts. I'm only going to charge you for 6. What do you want? That girl got a tip. And the boss was standing right behind her.
Yeah, she gets a tip every time.
Yeah.
You're nice to me. I wouldn't give you a tip to hand me donuts. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that's part of the job. I could have chose somewhere else to buy donuts for they to hand them to me, and it's not a problem.
These are good. These are really good donuts. You only paid for 6 of them, and you can get 10, 12, or 18, or how many she can stuff in that box because
That's fine. It's your prerogative, But on another note, you should pay for with cash. Like if you looked at my post, Scotsman, I saved the money by paying with cash. A lot of places, if you look at the menu or this or that down in the paperwork, even the pizza shop I go to, they charge you less if you pay with cash. So if you're concerned with prices, if you're cheap like me, although I'm just a cash guy anyway. I don't know. If it's not in your possession.
I read your post, dude, but still, $75, man. I was shocked you spent that kind of money, man.
Bucks by paying cash, man. I'm just saying, cash is king. So, as far as that, tips, you want to just throw somebody a couple bucks, whatever. Some kid offers to help, wash your truck or carry something in for you, whatever, there's little good moments in life and lessons learned, all used by cash. You can't do that shit with a card. So have some cash, people. That's all I'm saying. Don't be scared you're gonna lose it. I mean, unless you're senile or something. And you shouldn't have to worry about the bully taking your lunch money because you're a grown ass man. So there's no excuse not to have some cash. Cash will get you off the side of the road in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning, out of town. Nobody wants to hit your card when you go knocking on a door because there's no service and your apps don't work. They want cash.
Well, okay, I believe it's Alan's turn. Alan, Christmas is coming up. What firearm accessory would you like to receive this year as a gift?
Well, it kind of doesn't boil down to a firearm accessory, but it is gear. I I'd like to get a nice set of MVGs. And yeah,
buy this
a
one?
good nice set of MVGs will are can be beneficial in my area, 8 to 12 hours an evening. So there's times where I've thought, man, I wish I had a set of these. I wish I had a set of these. So not necessarily firearms related, but it is part of the gear kit. It's not going to happen. I mean, I don't have anybody that go out and shell that kind of money out for me.
Well, Scotsman, how about you, buddy?
Oh man, I got no clue, dude. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I guess I'd kind of have to go along the same lines as Alan or Daniel on the night vision stuff. There's always use for night vision out here. Something small, compact, but yeah, I don't know exactly what it would be, but yeah, there's always use for it, especially out here. There's lots of varmints. Good to see Christian out there. All right. Rob, pick a topic, man. You're up.
Uh, what's the best gift for the lady?
Cheesecake.
Maybe if they like cheesecake, yeah. Our best generalized gift for the lady, because
Cheesecake or her favorite donuts in the morning. Flowers die.
All right,
See,
Scotsman.
I'm gonna end up doing something a little different this year myself for the lady that she would never end up doing for herself, and I've been slowly um over the past couple of weeks decking her out for winter. Um,
Nice.
so just before the show, I literally just came back from the store where she ended up getting a nice set of snow boots. We've done a number of little trips. One thing that she doesn't know that's coming is bearskin fleece with the 4.0 thing they call it. Basically, it's like a rain slicker that zips onto the bearskin. She wears hoodies all the time, so this was just going to be a really kind of high grade hoodie for her. So it's nothing very romantic, but she would put on 15 different fucking layers and everything else. And so I decided, okay, well, I'm gonna, because I can only get so much from Goodwill. And then I typically have to spray it down with Febreze before I give it to her. So I decided to pony it up a little bit better this year.
I think that's a good investment, honestly. So I've bought my. She's got better winter gear than I do in some cases, and more options. Because you know how females are. But yeah, I think it's a good thing. Yeah, got to take care of the ones that take care of us. So those little things where it's just more comfortable that you can get by without, but you like to have that you
Well,
might not yourself. It's a good thing.
right, and ultimately it's just stuff that she won't go out and get herself.
Yeah. And she's
Stuff that she's, oh yeah, that's interesting. Well, you got to take note of that throughout the damn year. Um, Stuff that she points out when you're walking around a store with her or something. You gotta take these notes, guys. That's the best thing that I could say, is because if she's not going to go out by it herself, but she's shown great interest in it, that's um
so
yeah, I'm not sure if I could make a Jeep camel proof. I would love to have a camel proof vehicle. Um, Something that would carry a Modus. I don't know. Maybe an MRAP. That's what I want. I don't want night vision. I want an MRAP.
Alan, did you order a bearskin tactical hoodie off the internet?
Yes, I have. I have not received it yet, but I got the notification 2 days ago that it shipped.
When did you place your order?
Uh, about 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah, I ordered one a long, long time ago, it seems like. And I've not even received a shipping notification.
Did you guys go directly to their site, or did you click on one of these commercial links? 'Cause I think you should always go direct to their site, because when you pop on one of these links, sometimes some weird shit happens.
Yeah. And
Well, that is concerning because I did actually go off of one of the sites. It was an advertisement on YouTube. So yeah, that is concerning, because I not only did I order her and the daughter and a couple other people ones, but I ordered myself one. Now I haven't actually gotten the confirmation for mine, but my kind of line of thinking was, oh, well, they only sent the tracking for the one package because they're sending everything in the one package.
Well, I don't.
You'd hope that's common sense.
I don't have any direct information on this company or whatever, but I can say in the past I've purchased an item off one of these commercial ads. I got the item. It didn't really live up to the potential, but that's not the problem. The problem is shortly afterward, somebody in Texas decided to buy like $800 worth of $40 gift cards for Walmart, and it wasn't me. So, and then, come to find out there was a breach and blah, 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 and all this type of crap. So, and that was from the purchase initially off that ad. So that's where I say, like, I would, the hell with all the links and shit when you're, scrolling through the reels or whatever and something pops up. You go directly to a site to buy and skip the damn link ad stuff.
Yeah, we all know you ain't spent $800.
Damn sure not spending $800 on gift cards. $40.
You need a witness for that. You can reach out to any one of us. We can all bear witness to that.
Gun to my head or something's going on crooked as shit there. So
yeah, okay. I placed my order on Monday, December the 2nd, and I still haven't received a shipping notification. Today's the 15th. It's been 2 weeks tomorrow.
like keep a good eye on your account. So I don't want to curse you or anything like that, but just keep an eye on your stuff. Make sure
it's been paid for. They've already took the money out of my account.
Make sure
I would go ahead and call your bank to get that money credited back.
No, I'm gonna call them tomorrow and find out when they're planning on shipping it. And if not, I'll have them send the money back to me. And I'll go buy him a Carhartt jacket like a real man should do.
in all reality, speaking clothes, Carhartt's not as warm as people claim it is. Because I've worn them for years, and I tell you, I usually buy them bigger because I'm wearing a hoodie and thermals and other shit underneath. So, there's different levels of Carhartt. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever. Even 4 is not that damn good. So just putting it out there. If you're in extreme cold, just because it says extreme cold on the jacket, don't think you're not going to freeze your ass off. Just depending on it.
I would agree with Rob. Always go one size bigger because Carhartts are not. They're not. Their sizes are not well done. Would be the best way to put it.
They're durable. Give them that. They're definitely durable, but they're not.
They're durable. They're just small. You definitely got to go at least one size up, if not two.
And you're buying the bearskin hoodies. I mean, I think maybe because you want to skip layers. Well, there's actually good reasons for layers in a sense, and honestly, it's better to be a little cool with it than doing activities than to be comfortably warm, because as soon as you start sweating in the cold, that creates other issues. So, not stating you shouldn't be comfortable, but at the same time, having layers to remove is a benefit. It's not necessarily a downfall. I know people may look at it differently. I guess if you're just running at a grocery store or whatever, you don't want to screw around with a bunch of stuff. But it's not a good idea just to depend on one shell. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I clicked on the view order button, and it's not been shipped yet.
Yeah, I'm just kind of
I-
wondering if it's a male size thing, because the one order that I haven't gotten a confirmation that it shipped it was my particular coat, my bearskin, but the female bearskins didn't seem to have any delay. It was a couple of days, and I got the thing that it was shipped.
Yeah, I ordered this for my son, and it is a 3X. So there's that.
The one thing I would say as far as shipping goes, especially, I don't know, in the last month and a half or so, I would say I've had a lot of packages show up late. So I don't think it's just one company, this, that, the other. There's a lot of places that are having issues with shipping. So kind of take that with a pinch of salt as far as
Yeah,
shipping
fruit
goes.
right now is moving pretty slow around the country. There's speculation if eastern coastal ports are going to go back into strike or not. And so that's another main concerning thing. I'm not seeing it on the railway side. I'm seeing it on the port side. And there's possibility that coastal ports are looking at another strike again.
Yeah.
Not long ago as well, which put more influence on the U.S. Post Office and other, things like UPS, and they contracted both of them as well. So basically, shipping has kind of slowed down. Plus, it's a busy, the busiest season for shipping as well. So I wouldn't necessarily panic yet, guys, but keep an eye on your accounts and shit. That's all I'm saying. Because some of these ad things, there's fishy shit that goes on with those.
Yep, you never know.
Yeah, the Postal Service is pretty slow. Like you said, last month I won the drawing on Hillbilly's live stream. Won one of them little knives. It took over 2 weeks for it to get from wherever here to Virginia, and so that's pretty daggone slow.
Yeah, I had a package. It was supposed to be here, not this past Monday, the Monday prior to that, and it just showed up yesterday. But they literally drove by my house last week and went to Pennsylvania, and it sat in Pennsylvania for 4 days.
I hate that shit.
Yeah. The shipping shit is just fucking nuts.
They say like the distribution hubs, it's cheaper to have less of them and all this. Like if I mail a letter across the street, it's got to go an hour away from here and then turn around and come back to go across the street. To me it makes no sense, but that they say that's cheaper than having a distributing building here. So
yeah, I mean the place it came from, the distributor it came from, is 45 minutes from here. It went an hour and a half the other way, and then sat there for 4 fucking days before they finally shipped it and delivered it.
That's man, craziness. Some of this stuff.
It's happening a lot
You can't
more
really
often
see
now.
it, but I just I just pulled up my tracking and it actually says that both my package, 2 parcels have shipped. So yeah, there's that.
Did you get a triple X or a double X?
I got a triple X for me. Because yeah, I'm still going to be wearing my base layers. I'm still wearing long sleeve. I very well might be um, wearing even something else on top of that. So um, if I could put a tighter flannel on and then put that hoodie on over it, then I'm probably golden at that point and won't actually need the Carhartts. Now Carhartts, I had a little bit of issue with what Carhartt did during COVID, but let's set that aside. Um, one of the things that I've done with Carhartts, each and every Carhartt I've ever got for years, is first thing I do when I get it home is I like coat the thing in camp dry. Just spray the whole thing down, put a nice good layer of camp dry on it. And it basically makes it waterproof. Not only have I noticed that, but it also helps with wind. It also helps create a little bit more of a windbreaker, because that was the downfall that I seen a lot of times with car. Was, yeah, it's going to keep you warm unless you're in some stout wind, and it almost feels like it can come through that material.
They have a newer model out now with Carhartt where it's like rain guard, I think they call it. I was just in the store last night looking at this stuff. So uh they're kind of like a jacket. I think what I was looking at was like a level two or level 3 rain guard. So basically it's water resistant, blah blah blah, whatnot. So uh just something to keep in mind. So you may be, there might be more options out there of materials now available. I don't know when the last time you bought one was. So it might be a step that you can skip. Not to continue on long, but usually when I got one, like a regular jacket that I think most people envision as the Carhartt coat, one of the first things I would do is throw that son of a bitch in the washer and dryer and use a fabric sheet, dryer sheet, because it's, in the cold, like that shit's so rough it almost cut your cheek. It's just it's too rigid. It'll stand up by itself when you set it down, type thing. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, not comfortable at all. So my opinion, I can imagine what it would be like throwing a sealer on top of that. I mean, like it probably literally would just stand up on its own, set on the floor, zip it up, and it'll just hold its shape standing on the floor. So yeah, I might have some bullet
Well,
resistance.
yeah. I didn't go through my procedure properly. Yeah, I launder it first and soften it, because that canvas style material that Carhartt is known for, um, it's rigid. That it's stiff.
Yeah, it's almost like a new pair of leather gloves, or you're fighting to bend your fingers. Yeah, if you're moving your arms, doing stuff all day, working outside, you're fighting your coat for a while. If you don't, yeah, my opinion. Yeah, prices are ridiculous. I'll tell you that. Looking around at the stores last night, holy shit. Carhartts are about the same, but some of these other jackets, these rain resistant and whatnot. I mean, they're I don't know. I think everything's priced high, but they're seem like the one I was looking at was a thinner jacket. and it was $10 less than the standard Carhartt jacket. So you're just not getting the protection. It's not going to be rugged on the outside. You scrape against something, side of a house, a tractor, piece of machinery. You might rip the jacket, and it's so I don't know, it's just it didn't it it wasn't something that I was saw worth me spending the money on. I think it's going to get destroyed at work, even though I am concerned with moisture. Even if you use it as an outer layer, it's probably going to get destroyed at work. So, and for the cost being just $10 less than their normal jackets, it just wasn't worth it to me. So I seen some grid fleeces. They wanted $75. It's a damn fleece. It's got a ripstop grid put into it. I've ordered similar online for I think $35, $30. They work nice, but they're not all that. They're not $75 nice, and that I think that was on sale. So some of this shit's I think just getting ridiculous. I mean, just the weight of a standard hoodie, it's almost nothing anymore. It's like wearing a heavy t-shirt almost. Even the ones with they got the fur inside with Carhartt. There's jackets. It's nothing. It's a thin ass shell with a fleece, attached inside. Standard fleece that you usually get, used to be able to get cheap. Now they want expensive, but it's not enough in my opinion. It's just really not when it comes to warmth and what you're getting for your money. Don't get me wrong. I own cars. I use them, but it's hard to justify buying anything besides their standard coat and bibs. I wear those a lot, especially the bibs. So you're crawling around under a house, shit like that in the winter, you want those.
Oh yeah, the bibs, man. That's something that I was looking at while the woman was off looking at boots. I was looking at the Carhartt bibs. Fleece. They've got the sheepskin lining. They're thermal. They're thick. They're regular Carhartt all stuff. The legs zip up and down so that you can actually get these things up over your jeans or whatnot. $260 they wanted for a pair of bibs that were the winter shit. And I'm just like, that is insane. Right next to it, they had a rack of, what was it, walls? I think it was called walls. And they felt just this thick. They looked exactly the same. They all had all they did was took the Carhartt tag off of it and put a walls tag on it. $60 a set.
I don't know. I know there's some off brands, and I would question, what are you doing? First off, is it the same quality? Is the stitching the same? Because you got to look at that. The Carhartts is usually triple layers on your side seam, stuff like that. You're talking like YKK zippers, so they're not going to break in 3 months when you're getting ready for work and all this shit. So stuff like that you got to kind of consider. My Carhartt bibs I've been able to run a long time. I got the lady a cheaper set. She doesn't do what I do. She's standing out there next to me, but she's not doing the extent that I do. So the cheaper one she's been running them for a while. They're Blizzard, they're called. And they've held up pretty well. So blizzard proof, it's on the back of them. So I don't know. So I'd look at, what are you doing? Are you using them daily? Then buy the better set. Are you just trying to keep dirt and muck off you, or are you trying to have warmth as well? So I mean, this stuff maybe people don't think about, but I'm so cheap. I think about this shit before I spend, $160, $200 on a set of any damn thing. Is it gonna serve the purpose I'm looking
Yeah,
for?
key.
Yeah.
Thorzax brought up key brand, and key brand is pretty good stuff too. Pretty dang good stuff. All the same style, same kind of insulation, everything else. Significantly less expensive, but they still have the top of the line zippers and phenomenal stitching. It's good
Well,
stuff.
zippers is a big deal. So that's, if I could tell you one thing, pay attention to zippers, because zippers suck. It's not like the old days where you could go to a seamstress and get it replaced for $11. Maybe you can in your town, but or maybe you don't even know that's a thing. But used to be able to get zippers fixed fairly cheap. But nowadays, all those types of shops are closed down in my area. So unless you know somebody, you know, your bibs are shot because of a cheap ass zipper, or your nice new coat shot because of a cheap ass zipper. So don't get scammed on the zippers.
Yeah, most of my hunting gear I bought probably close to 10 years ago. I got for a hell of a deal, and it's still all good to this day, including the bibs. And I spent a good chunk of money on the bibs too. Yeah, they're all still good to this day, thankfully. I forget the brand. I'd have to go look. But I got like 50 or 60% off when I bought all that shit. And I bought pretty much what I had, just bought everything I thought I would need at the time and just did it all in one shot.
Yeah, well, it helps to have the right equipment if you're going to be out in the weather. You know, it's almost not really possible without the right gear in some situations. So, so obviously gifts for loved ones, it makes sense to help them out with that type of stuff. Whether it's snow gear, rain gear, those are things that people can get by without, but on average, but it does make your life a little more comfortable if you have it. So I'd also throw out there, if you're just, hanging out outside doing light work, stuff like this, ski pants work well as like a snow pant. It's usually a better version of snow pants. Quite warm. I got a set where actually it's got zippers for ventilation, and you need that ventilation once you start working outside with it. If you're not doing anything where things are going to snag or this or that, that's perfect. I'll wear those instead of my bibs.
Do they have a taint zipper? Do they have a taint zipper? Get that organic air conditioning going?
I guess so. Yeah. It's down the side of the legs, so you can kind of unzip. It's almost like a pocket, but then it's mesh to allow air to flow in from outside. So, but it does kind of help, because you wouldn't think so. You'll be so warm that it feels good. So you don't end up sweating. But anyway, those are another nice option as a gift for somebody that they might not spend on themselves. Or maybe they're not even a skier. You don't have to be a skier. It's about doing activity outside comfortably.
All right. Well, we're coming up close to to 9 o'clock. We'll start going through the room. Daniel, we'll start with you, man. What you got?
Well, I'm going to do a collaboration with old AllenBePro for my next video. So I just want you all to be waiting and watching out for that. But thanks for having me on here. And folks in the side chat, it's been nice interacting with you tonight. And that one topic there we had introduced, that the first topic we had introduced this at the beginning of the chat, I really liked that topic. I had a good time with it. So thank you. And good night.
Always good having you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Garage guy, what you got, brother?
Well, this week I'm going to be doing a few things here on the inside of the house. Also tomorrow afternoon, and Tuesday it's supposed to be nice. So hopefully I can get some shooting segments done for some videos. And this computer, like I said, it's new to me, and I need to figure out this editing program. I think it's called Clip Champ or something like that. I'm used to Windows Movie Maker, so I need to get acquainted with that. And like I told you last night on a Hillbilly show, Scotsman, if I'm off rest of the year, if you decide you want to do a random chat or whatever, just send me a text or something. I'll be there.
Yep. All right, man. Yeah, we can do that for sure. Absolutely. Good having you. Appreciate you, man. Rob, what you got, brother?
Not much. The usual. Eat a salad. Don't be afraid to spend a few bucks, eat in a nice place once in a while with your family. I'm sure they deserve it, especially for putting up with you. You is in all of you out there, nobody specifically or anything, but putting up with us. So, other than that, stay cool. Not too cool, but, hopefully you enjoy the holidays. I assume we'll see you before Christmas rolls up again. But other than that, don't put yourself in debt. I already said it. Eat a salad. And we'll catch you next time.
Tip your waitresses, right? Jamie, what you got, brother?
Man, thanks for having me, and thanks for putting up with me. And hunting clothing and outdoor gear, that's really tough, especially hunting, because you got to walk forever and not sweat. And then you have to sit still and be quiet and stay warm. So it's a delicate balance. And Christian's telling me about Sitka gear over here, so I'm going to be checking that out. And he's right. It's crazy expensive, but that's the kind of thing you buy. You pay once and you cry once. That lasts a long time. Anyway, check us out Friday nights at 8 o'clock on the Georgia Shooting Connection channel. And y'all have a great week. And if we don't see you next weekend, Merry Christmas.
Always a pleasure having you, man. Yeah, we should be here next weekend. I don't know if Alan has anything going or not, but we should be here. I don't have anything going on as far as I know. But I think most of my hunting gear, if I remember right, I think 90% of it's like scent lock hunting gear. It's not cheap either. It's right up there with the Sitka stuff, but it's not cheap. But it's good stuff. And like I said, when I bought mine, I got mine with like 60 or 50 or 60% discount, something like that when I bought mine. But that was like 10 years ago. But it's held up well. Good stuff. Appreciate everyone out there in the side chat. Y'all drive this and keep this going. So we thank you and appreciate you. Lots of good conversation tonight. We've had a lot of random topics. Didn't pick on Daniel as much tonight. We picked on everybody in the chat pretty much. So that was a little bit of a difference and a little bit of change for everyone. And with that, we'll throw it over to Alan to take us out the only way that is possible. The only way that is 110% right. And that is the Midas way.
Oh man, thank you. Yeah, great chat. Phenomenal people out in the side chat. Excellent here in the room. Garage Guy, there is a way. There is a way to put that same movie maker on a Windows 11 system. Just got to do a little bit of research. It can happen. Learning new software is extremely difficult. But I'll tell you, for editing software, that's like the easy peasy of software. And so I put it onto my Windows 11 system. I am super, super excited about this collaboration with FUD with the gun. It's going to be epic, folks. Just absolutely epic. You want to talk about editing. The time amount that we're going to end up spending in editing alone is enormous. You're not going to want to miss it. Not going to want to miss it, or that smiling face of Jamie. How could you? Of course, you can't miss that. But the one thing that you don't want to do either is to not be reminded to keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!